this video, we're going to cover my top 7 tips for those starting at 11, the main GCSE year. Hey guys, and welcome back to Active Studies, where I produce videos on GCSE and A-levels. Make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notification so you're updated every time I upload onto the YouTube. All the topics covered in this video will appear here. Make sure to stick around for that bonus tip at the end of the video. Alright guys, let's get into the video. Getting organised. Buy all your stationery before you start school in September. So buy a calculator for maths, buy a few highlighters for English. So colour coding your notes can really help when you're trying to revise. Give your eyes something interesting to look at. You don't have to be all fancy buying these expensive highlighters, but a few coloured pencils and pens should do the job. One of them tech nerds that use one of these devices to make their notes. Then you can always change the text colour, you can highlight the text, or you could add comments using virtual sticky notes. Also remember to limit the number of colours you use. 3 or 4 should do the job. You don't want to be wasting your revision time trying to figure out what pale purple and light blue stand for. The most important thing when you're colour coding your notes is being consistent. You don't want half your notes coloured and the other half, plain. Make sure each topic has a clear title and the notes are arranged in some logical way with a heading. A friend of mine actually had a content page in each of his notebooks for each subject. So, for biology, for example, he turned to, the first page, the content page. He'd see human evolution, page 60. He turned to that. And then, magic, he has his notes right there. As you've probably heard by now from all these study tubers, the most effective way of organising your notes is by having a folder. Yes, you guessed it. Yeah, this is something I'm trying to adapt to recently. This is actually my folder for biology. It's quite heavy already. The best way to effectively maximize productivity in your day is by having some sort of timetable that you stick to. I'm one of them Donnies that will watch 30 hours of Netflix as an excuse that I didn't know what to do. Timetables help to reduce time wasted and increase. Timetables help to reduce time wasted that couldn't be used productively. Timetable, you know what you're doing every single hour of the day. Timetable teaches one to have good time management skills and also discipline. More organised, confident and productive. It also helps guide you throughout the day. You might wonder, how can you make a productive timetable? There's no need to be all fancy. I'll put a picture up of one of my recent timetable that I created on Word. It took me like 10 minutes. And if you're wondering how I actually made this timetable, then well, here are the steps. Number 1. First, you need to work out when you can revise. Put all of your commitments into a blank timetable, so school, sports, clubs, social plans, etc. Next, you break down your subjects into topics and prioritize based on your confidence and the importance of each subject and each topic. And then finally, you sort out all the topics into this empty space of your revision timetable. I'd advise you to update your timetable every 1 to 2 weeks. Download the specification and print it off, the actual course content, not the waffle. Just, leave that out if you don't want to be wasting paper. It can be really useful to use the specification as some sort of checklist to know whether or not you've done a certain topic. You can use a pen or a highlighter to cross out each of the topics you've covered. This gives confidence upon exam time, also reduce exam stress as you know you're prepared. You've covered all the topics that could potentially come up in the exam. Start as early as possible. After every lesson, go home and make notes on the notes you've made in class. Then you can move on to making other resources such as mind maps and flashcards. This will also help reduce exam stress nearer to exam time, as you don't have this pressure to making notes for the previous lessons you've had across the year. Mark schemes are your golden key. Code the exam papers. Use different colours: green, red, orange. If you've done practice papers, you'd know this. Doing practice papers and marking them gives this sense of achievement. It also helps to identify the grade that you're working at. You can also notice the patterns in some of the questions across the papers. Identifying and utilising this knowledge is the best form of revision for your exam. Take breaks, but not for too long. We all know this person, well, it could be us, me and you, that does revision for 10 minutes and then takes a 10-hour break like they deserve it. For every 45 minutes of work, you should have a maximum of 15-minute break. This is also another reason why having a timetable can be really useful in maximizing productivity throughout your day. Some people are more productive when they work in short blocks, so as I said, 45-minute breaks, 45 minutes of work, then 15 minutes of break. And others, like me, prefer longer blocks of work, followed up by longer breaks. Some people prefer to study in libraries and coffee shops, whilst others prefer to study at home. And those that prefer to study in libraries like the whole idea of a quiet, spacious environment. I'm quite different. I prefer to walk around when I'm studying. I prefer to shout out my notes. I do all sorts of things. There's 4 main steps to creating the perfect study space. You don't need expensive tables, you don't need the latest Apple device. Number one, remove all distractions. Games, phones, younger siblings, all distractions need to be removed. Number two, have access to everything you need before you start. So coffee, biscuits, snacks, Be prepared so you don't need to waste time later on when you need to be revising. Number three, experiment with lighting. This doesn't really apply to you if you're one of them early birds, but if you're one of them night owls, then I'd advise you to invest in some sort of lighting. Number four, adjust your study space to the ideal temperature. You don't want to be stinking in your room, and on the other hand, you don't want to be freezing in your room. And finally, the bonus tip, sleep. Sleep promotes memory, facilitates learning, and recharges our mental and physical batteries. Everybody should aim to sleep for around 8 hours, but this is a bit different if you're trying to be Leonardo da Vinci. However, if you really want to take that extra step and maximize the amount of hours in your workday, then you can live on 6 hours of sleep. It is believed that every sleep cycle consists of 3 hours, so 2 sleep cycles equals 6 hours. But it's vital they have a 10 to 20 minute nap midday to ensure that you're fully energetic and productive. This idea of sleeping for 2 cycles and having a 10 to 20 minute nap midday might suit some people. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Smash the like button for the algorithm and subscribe for more weekly videos. Alright, take care. Peace.